Hey, welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harding. Glad to be back. It is the last day of March. It's the last day of my Women's History Month series as well. I've had a lot of incredible guests, so you can follow all those and listen to all those shows on anywhere you get podcasts from. And I got incredible guests to end this series. This is not the end of highlighting and spotlighting and all these incredible women in this space when it comes to leadership and sports and media. This is just 1 month to do it, but I'm gonna highlight and spotlight these incredible women all through the years moving forward as well. So it's only right that I ended with a bang. So I will bring in my guests in a bit. But before we get started, hit my intro. Let's get it. All right. Once again, welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal Podcast. Happy last day of March. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Hardin. Glad to be back with another incredible episode on my Women's History Month series. Like I said, it's the last day of this series, so I'm excited to have my last guest of the month. But before I bring her on, you can follow the show on all the podcast platforms, whether it's Spotify, Apple, YouTube, iHeartRadio. We are on those. So wherever you consume podcasts, you can listen to all the previous episodes and even episodes moving forward. We're also on BS3 Network, BS3TVLive.com, BS3 Network Roku channel as well. And you can follow me on all the social media platforms at Get the Real Deal on Twitter, also on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Blue Sky. I'm on all those social media platforms as well. Let me bring in my guest here. Very excited to have this conversation with her. As I said, ending my Women's History Month series. So she's gonna tell her story and things like that. She helps leaders, coaches, and athletes communicate with confidence. She's an author, former pro basketball player, host of a Ball and a Chance podcast as well. Communication strategist. He said leader. She does a little bit of everything, but let me bring in my guest, Angela R. Lewis. Welcome to the show. Really appreciate it.
Hi, Courtney. Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad we could finally make this happen, and I'm excited to end out your Women's History Month series. So thank you so much for the
Yes,
invitation.
you are very welcome. I'm glad too that we are able to nail this down. We've been trying to do this for about a month or so. Things came
Yeah.
up, and we're just busy, things like that. So, but I'm glad to we had the time, and I was able to do this on my Women's History Month series and have you and spotlight you as well and all the incredible work you're doing. So I appreciate that you accepted the invite as well.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you. It's perfect timing.
Yeah,
Absolutely
yes,
perfect timing
it is. It
on a
definitely.
number of different levels.
Yeah, a lot of different levels. You're right. From every perspective we can think of, it's always good timing. So glad to have you on. So well, let me first and foremost thank you again. I always ask my first time guests, who is Angela R. Lewis, and why do you do what you do?
I am someone who has tremendous amount of gratitude for what sport has given me. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri, and basketball found me. I'm 6'1". I've been this tall since I was 12 years old, but I
Mm,
wasn't the kid who wanted to play and had these big dreams and aspirations.
mm,
I was just a kid who a coach saw. So I am someone who has been loved, who has been coached, who has really been invested in heavily in sport, and someone who then took that coaching and decided to use my skills to help others. And so I'm an author. I speak, I do workshops on communication, teamwork, leadership, and most recently published my children's book, A Ball and a Chance.
Congratulations on that as well. We're going to get into all of that and the process and things like that as well. So and yes, but reading your bio, like you said, I've doing research and things like that. And we've been talking off camera for a while, just like I said, trying to set this up and things like that. And you said 6'1" by the time you was 12 years old. So, and in through your bio, you said you wasn't confident about that. How did you gain confidence of accepting that height and being able to say, hey, okay, yes, I am 6'1". I'm going to play basketball, but how did you gain confidence in that? Because I know a lot of people that tall, especially women that are get uncomfortable when they're tall such a young age. But as you said, you stand out. But how did you gain that confidence moving forward?
Sure. I want to make sure I put the confidence in context because I wasn't confident on the court at 12 years old when I started playing,
Right.
and I should not have been. Like when you're new at something, it makes sense to not be confident. And
Yeah.
I think oftentimes we see kids who are tall or we just expect them to go on the court and then be confident. Well, you have to build it through practice, through
Mm.
repetition, through working. You work your way to confidence. But in the classroom, I was very confident. I did very well. So the confidence that I lacked was in this one domain. And and through practice, through coaches, through work, I was able to get better. And thankfully I have older brothers who beat me up in the
Yeah.
backyard and who also beat me up, but then would support me and
Yeah.
say, no, do it this way or do it that way. So I'm grateful to my big brothers who also were very affirming yet tough that helped me begin to believe in myself as well.
That's good. And it's good to have that support system. Even as we get older, you need that support system, whether it's family, whether it's a coach, whether it's someone, friends and things like that to help you build that confidence too. As you said, and you're right. I think when anything you try new, you will be nervous.
Mhm.
It will be uncomfortable. But as you continue to work at it, you become okay. Now I'm gaining confidence as well. So I think that's a great point too, as you said, having that support system. So how important was that support system as it molded you to where you are today?
It's twofold, It's like the support system is important and you have to do the work. To
Mm,
have a support system and don't do the work, you still won't be confident and you're still not going to get better.
right.
But to do the work, anytime you're doing work, we doubt. And so it helps to have those voices that will not the voices, but the environment. Environment is more important. If you're in an environment that can support the work that you're doing, it helps you get there faster. And you don't have that internal tension like, oh, I want to work hard, but everyone's telling me I should quit or I should give up or I'll never be good enough. If
Right.
you can grow a lot faster in an environment that supports the work that you're doing.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
And
And
so that I was blessed with that, with both.
yeah, with both. Okay, yeah, and like you said, that's good because you said you have to still put in the work.
Still have to put in
And
the work. Oh my
yeah.
God, I hated it. But I didn't like basketball. Like I
Mm,
wasn't looking for it. I did not like it. It was not fun. And
yeah,
to become confident at a sport like basketball, there are so many skills you have to learn.
yeah,
I think that's why a lot of kids are going away from the game, unfortunately, because it's you're embarrassed. You're gonna be embarrassed. I'm
mm.
glad that I don't have recordings of when I was, first starting out
Right.
because I missed a lot of shots. I missed a lot of passes. I could not dribble. There are all these little skills you develop over time, but you stay with it, you develop confidence, you get better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you said you got better and you built confidence, and you have others that believed in you. You put in the work, and it eventually led to an NCAA Division I scholarship for you and
It
a
did.
professional career overseas. Talk about that transition. Once you did build that confidence, and once you got to have that love for basketball, talk about that transition, how that went for you, getting that NCAA Division I scholarship, and then eventually playing professionally overseas.
Getting a scholarship is wonderful. Like it's wonderful, but it's you go to another level and then you have to learn what it takes to be
Mm,
at that level. I
yeah,
thought I knew what it meant to work hard. I thought I knew what it meant to run fast and to be passionate, but that gets taken up a notch. So you're constantly elevating from level to level. And confidence is something you have to constantly rebuild because you're in a new domain. So I
right.
didn't have to study a playbook in high school at all. But then in college, not only are you expected to be in shape and to work really hard, you're expected to know the plays as well.
Mm,
So each level requires that next level of learning, which requires you to do more work to gain confidence in that new domain.
Yeah, for sure. And you had said before about basketball being more than a place just to play, it's a place to become. So if you did strip away, the nuances of basketball, points and rebounds, what would you say to young women, especially that want to transform into getting into basketball and things like that?
What would I say to young women who want to get into basketball?
Yes. Hmm.
Stick with it. Just
Mm,
stick with it. Play the long game. You
right.
know, I was talking to a parent yesterday about her child, and you're not going to get a scholarship in the 6th grade. It's not possible. So you have to give yourself time to get better, but stick with it and play other sports. I mean, you learn a lot from other sports as well.
Yeah, definitely stick with it, and I think that's good, and just in anything, and whether it's sports, business, and everything too. Don't give up. Just stick with it, because as you said earlier, you got to continue to keep developing, and even if you don't have the confidence to do it, uh, with that the right support system, you will be able to mold yourself if this is something you want to really do. So I agree with
Yeah,
that.
I, mm, I agree. And and it's important to have people that you look up to who've walked the path that you've gone. I'm
Mm,
sorry, people who have walked the path that you want to go. You're going to get tons of advice from people who've never done it, who are going to tell you how it should be done. Find the people who've done it and listen to them.
yeah, definitely listen to them for sure, and everything too. So talk about your professional career too, and playing overseas, and
Mhm.
how is that different from from someone that's from the states and overseas, and from your professional career?
I love playing internationally
Hmm.
because you get to meet people from different cultures. So beyond the basketball, right? Beyond the basketball,
Yeah.
you're able to immerse in another culture. I lived in Germany. Look, I'm from the city of St. Louis, North Side.
Right.
I've
Right.
never I I hadn't heard German, like the language
Mm,
spoken. I didn't have a context of what it meant to go to Germany. Nobody in my immediate family had passports. And my extended family, if they did, it was because they were in the military. So living and traveling internationally was not something that was normal for my family. And so I'm so grateful I did it because of the people I met and the places that I went. Unbelievable. I carry that with me now, which is why in A Ball and a Chance, she takes a little trip internationally because I want
yeah.
kids to know that this sport of basketball can connect you to the world and connect you to people all over.
Mm. Yeah, that's for sure. And you said that connection, the networking, and just learning. As you said, you learn with the culture of something overseas, internationally, and you had to learn that
Every day,
as
it's
well.
constant. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
God,
yeah.
Courtney, it's nonstop
Hmm.
learning. And that's the
Yeah,
beauty of it.
yes.
Because if you continue to learn, you're going to continue to grow and connect and expand.
Yes, yep, for sure. All right, let's talk about and now transition into being an author. Now you said book just launched and everything. Congratulations,
Thank you.
they're
Thank you. Thank
becoming an
you.
author. Talk a little bit about the book. Uh, why you wanted to write this book, and what do you want people to get out of the book as well.
Yeah. This is my third book.
Third
Ball
book,
and a
yeah,
Chance.
yes.
Yeah. Ball and a
Hmm.
Chance is my third book, by far the most challenging one that I've
Mm,
written because it's a children's book. I wrote this book because I was asked to speak on a panel at Matthews Dickey Boys and Girls Club, the Boys and Girls Club in St. Louis, where I grew up playing ball.
okay.
And the event organizer called me and said, "We would love you to be on the panel. This is going to be a book bash where we're bringing in authors." She said, "We looked at your other books, but they're too advanced. This is a K through 5 event. This is for the
Mm,
young kids at the Boys and Girls Club." And I got off the phone with her, Courtney, and I was like, "Oh, so I need to write a children's book in an
mm.
instant." And then I started thinking, what story do I want to tell to the kids who literally are growing up in the neighborhood I grew up in? And that is how this book and story came about.
Okay.
So, A Ball and a Chance is about a little girl named Destiny who happens to be taller than everyone. For me, it was height. For some kid, it's something else, but she doesn't really feel like she fits. And her aunt invites her to a basketball camp in another country. And she goes and meets kids from other cultures. And she learns ultimately, without giving the whole story away,
Yeah, yeah.
that any court in the world feels like home. So she finds home and solace on the court and knows that who she is enough. So this book is about confidence, it's about culture, it's about community, and most importantly, it is about being willing to take a chance even when you're a little nervous to try something new.
Mm, I like that. I really do, and I think it's very
Thank you.
important. Yeah, I think it's very important to have these, you know, these things that you said that people go through, lacking confidence, lacking, but could be resilient too. On top of
Yes.
that, and you as you talked about in community as well, for especially for a young reader. How long did it take you to write this book? Like you said, was it a long time in the making, and everything too? Because you said it was one of the hardest. You said it was the hardest one that you've done. Is your third book. So talk about how long it did it take, and until you were satisfied, like, okay, this is it. This is the story I want to tell.
This book started last April.
Mm,
The event was last May. This book started last April. So a little under a year for me to say this is I'm going to put it out there. There are a few elements of this book that I have to share because they came
yeah.
throughout the process, and then I can share also after that why this was the hardest book
Okay.
that I've
Yeah.
written.
Yeah.
The first element is I believe I believe that you take wherever you're from, wherever you go.
Mm,
As I mentioned, I'm from St. Louis. Every illustration in this book has a St. Louis arch on it. From the front cover to the back cover, there's an arch. And part of the fun of the part of the fun of the book for young readers is looking at the illustration and trying to find where the arch is placed. It's a
yeah.
different place everywhere. I'm not going to tell you where. Every page. So that was important to me. The other thing that makes this book so near and dear to my heart is that as I was writing it, my father was transitioning. So this book is dedicated to my pops.
Okay.
And this book, in so many ways, is about the people that make it happen for kids. There are parents in the book, there's an auntie in the book, there are other kids in the book. This book is really about like the people who open the door. On the cover of the book, Courtney, there
Yeah.
are three kids. These kids on the cover are actually my friends' kids. They are cartoon versions of my friends' kids in Colombia. I lived in Medellin, Colombia for 2.5 years. And this is Amaya, Luciana, and Paul. They're the kids who
Okay.
I adore. And this story really highlights how it takes everyone to come together to ensure that kids see what's possible. And the last thing, there's a passport. There's a The little girl Destiny in this book is holding a passport 3 or 4 different times throughout the book because I want kids to know that like wherever you're from, you can stay, but there are other places you can go. Like the world is your opportunity. And
Mm.
this book highlights that.
Hey, that's great. I mean, that's very wonderful because you just said it, and you talk about you're like the global connector. It's in the book. In the book, resonates that as well. And I do the one of the points you said I thought was very important is you're right. The world is a big place,
So
and
big.
it's huge, and you can go and explore and just to see different cultures, different people, and continue to gain confidence in that, just by exploring, asking questions, and I
Yes.
think that's what it seems like. That's what I think. That's where a lot of kids will get out of children will get out of this children's book of ball and a chance of having that. So I think that's
Yes.
incredible. That's very
Thank
incredible.
you. And the illustrations are so vibrant. You
Hmm.
can literally, oh my God. I'm okay. Let me calm down because I'm like,
No, that's
I
good.
am on fire for this book.
Yes,
I have to share a couple other things with you about it.
yes, please do.
The illustrations are so vibrant. Someone asked, well, what age group is it perfect for?
Mm.
All all of them. Because if a kid can't read the words, you can read the pictures. The
Oh,
images tell you the whole story, and they're so much fun. The story is written to feel like you hear a basketball bouncing. So there's
mm.
rhyme, there's similes, there's metaphor. It may be a rap later. Like
Yeah,
I
might do a
started,
rap, might do a hip hop.
put a little
Yeah,
beat on it.
well, beat on it.
Um, it
Yes.
is so much fun. And so I took a
Mhm.
lot of time and I was really intentional with every word. And I wanted kids to be able to read it and flow with it like you're dribbling a ball.
Yes.
So
Oh,
yeah,
that
it's
sounds.
fun. You're gonna love it. It's
Yeah,
so much fun.
that sound of basketball. Just that sound of dribbling a ball and getting into a rhythm.
Yeah,
As I because I played ball, was a point guard, and that just dribbling and dribbling and dribbling and just getting a rhythm of how that. And as you said, the book has a seems like the book has a rhythm to it. And you
it
said
does.
it's like going like I said, getting into dribbling a basketball. You got to have rhythm to be able to go up and down the court.
Yes.
Hmm.
Are you okay if I read one page?
Sure,
Like
sure,
as an
go right ahead.
example?
Yeah,
I just
give an
realized
example.
I'm saying it, but okay. This is this is the opening to the book.
Okay.
It is an ode, a tribute to St. Louis.
Mm.
St. Louis, my home, you planted the seed for the love of the game and the courage to lead. An arch on each page is my way to show that where you're from travels wherever you go. So look all around. How many do you see? Count all the arches as you read about destiny. From city streets to distant lands, all you need is a ball and a chance.
I like that. Like you said, you're giving a homage to where you're from, and born and raised, and you said the global connection. Just continue. I really like that, and it's again the game of basketball is so global.
It is.
And you said you traveled the world and played professionally, and now you have it in the hands of your third book. So congratulations on it. Where can everyone get the book and want to reach out to you, or the local bookstores, Barnes and Noble, Amazon? Where can they purchase the book?
As of today, there are three places you can purchase the book.
Okay.
One, from my website,
Yeah.
angelarlewis.com. If you want an autographed copy from me, go there, purchase the book. I'll assign it to you or to who. Maybe there's a young girl in your life who plays ball or a young boy. I'll happily sign it, get it to you. The
Okay.
second place is Amazon, of course. You can order from Amazon. That doesn't come to me first, so I'm not going to know that you bought it.
Yeah, you
But
bought it right.
please leave a review. If you purchase from
Mhm.
Amazon, please leave a review and then
Yes.
I'll know and I can reach out to you. And then the third place, which I'm really excited about, is I have a book signing at the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame on
Ooh.
June 27th, induction weekend. So the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame has purchased copies of my book. They are on the bookshelf at the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. So if you're in Knoxville,
Mm.
go to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. You can get the book or catch me June 27th that morning at the hall in the rotunda. I'll be signing books there.
Ooh, yes. So anyone else go to Basketball Hall of Fame, I say go to their website and go to Basketball Hall of Fame before Amazon. That's
Yes.
for the two places to get them, and
Yeah.
and you can say you get signed copies as well. So wow, that's big. Speaking of that, let's transition to that. Like Basketball Hall of Fame, you're gonna be speaking there. Talk about how that opportunity came about.
Courtney, this is not the book. I could not have planned this.
Hmm.
Here's what happened. Last July, I drove from Dallas, Texas to Gatlinburg, Tennessee to meet up with my family for a week. And I looked at the map and saw Knoxville was on the way. And I was
Ooh,
like, oh man, like I knew the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame was there. I knew
yes.
that, but I didn't know that I would pass through there. So as I got closer, I just knew I was going to go. So when I got with my family, I'm like, hey, y'all, let's go to the Hall of Fame. It's
Take a
going to be
trip, road trip.
amazing. Yes. It's only like an hour away from where we were. We could go
Yeah.
down, come back. Everybody said no.
Oh,
Courtney,
a
everybody
chance to
said,
go. Oh,
I thought it was amazing. So I was
yeah.
like, forget this. I'm going anyway. Doesn't matter. I can't be
Yeah.
this close and not go.
Yeah.
So I go and I walk through and it's everything I thought it would be. It's nostalgic, it's interactive, there's
Mm.
memorabilia. On the way out, you go into the gift shop. And I'm walking around the gift shop and I see a bookshelf. And I'm like, oh, how amazing would it be if my books were on the shelf at the Women's
Mm.
Basketball Hall of Fame? So I go ask, I say, how do y'all decide what books? They said, well, people contact us, we have a conversation with them, and then we decide. So I contacted them,
Yeah.
hopped on a call, and they said, we've researched you. We want to buy all of your books.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Wow. Mm.
Oh my God. Well, thank you. That's beyond
Yeah.
what I just wanted information. So they said, well, send us a few copies, let us see it, and then we'll get them and then follow up with the order. I did that. They followed up with the order. And they said, in addition, we would like for you to do a book signing. We need more children's books here. There's a lot of kids
Wow.
that come through here. We need more children's books.
Hmm.
In addition, we would love to give you 2 complimentary tickets to the Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
Wow. You just got,
Oh my God.
that's, there's so many
Blessings on
blessings.
blessings on
Yes,
blessings.
blessings on blessings for sure.
So I am immensely grateful
Yeah.
to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame for believing in the vision that I have for this book, because the 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 depth of heart and spirit that I went to create this book is
Mm.
beyond anything I'd gone through before. Children's books are tough because there's so many different sizes and
Yeah.
shapes, and you have to have less words, but like the same depth of meaning, and the illustrations have to speak in a way that the words don't. So
Yeah.
creatively, I, I thought about all the backstories of the characters. Like creatively, this book took me to places that I hadn't been before in terms of dreaming and imagining. And so I'm grateful that this process will really get in the hands of a lot of people who visit the Hall of Fame and who get the book.
Yeah, that's so many blessings. And as you said, you got more than you beyond that you probably could have imagined. Um, and to be able to have a book signing there, on top of having your books there, um, and speaking, it's that's tremendous.
It,
Um,
you,
yeah.
Courtney, I was walking through,
Hmm.
because at that time I was actively like working on the book, and I'm like, oh, it would be amazing to have a book
Right,
signing here.
right.
When I walked up from the outside, they have this little like shared box. Truth, like I I can't make this up. There's this little box. Sometimes you see it at coffee shops, museums, and it's a box where like people can share books.
Mm.
I walked up and said, the next time I come here, I'm going to make sure that at least one of my books is in this box, because my
Right.
books have to be here. And then I'm
Hmm.
walking through, I'm like, oh, I could have a book signing here. I have pictures. I started dreaming, not knowing that all of this would happen. So it's literally like living in the dream. So I
Yeah,
need to get the book in the hands of as many young people as possible to let them
yeah.
know that they can be unstoppable
Unlovable. Your vision and dream has come a reality. That's
as
what that
well.
they become. Yeah, and
Oh,
now look at what I mean. That's God's work, just giving.
it
That's so
is.
many blessings. Uh, you're pushing. You said you dreamt it and you put it in put it out of existence, and here's the amazing work that you said it creatively. It took you places where you said where you just didn't imagine, and now you're in the Hall of Fame, talking at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
you know,
There, there's this line in the book that little Destiny, her aunt, is like, hey, do you want to come to this camp? Those aren't the exact words. I'm paraphrasing.
yeah.
It's more eloquent than what I just said. And Destiny essentially says, I'm nervous. I want to go, but I'm nervous. And her
Mm,
aunt says, always remember, it's new, it's hard, it's possible. With courage and heart, you'll be unstoppable.
wow. Yeah.
And throughout the book, Little Destiny, it's almost like an affirmation. It's
Mhm.
an affirmation, like, with courage and heart, I'm unstoppable. I'll be unstoppable. And so I want kids to know that like they can be unstoppable if they have the courage to go through it, even when they're afraid. Like keep going, even when you're afraid. And if you have the heart to get up every time you get knocked down and to
Mhm.
push a little further, you will be unstoppable. That's what I want them to know. Like that's what I wish I would have known at their age.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. You said be encouraged, you're unstoppable, having the heart, being
Yeah,
unstoppable.
heart and
Because a lot of times there are going to be those ups and downs. You are going to fall, come to fall more than you than you want and can imagine
oh my God.
in life. But you said you learn something every time you fall, and then you could, you said, have that heart to continue to move forward, continue to keep pushing forward. So yeah, so a lot of powerful lessons in this book too.
Packed a lot in
You
these
back to
few pages.
those pages, yes, 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 and even just hearing just one page, that just makes you think like, wow, so many people are going to really resonate and really gonna buy this book. So I am praying that you get all the success with the book
Thank you.
as well. So, all right, just got a few more. Then before I let
Yeah.
you go, because we could talk for hours, I'm sure, with this. But as you said, now a communication strategist as well, as you said, help leaders and athletes, high performing professionals communicate with confidence, clarity, presence. Talk about what that entails of being a communication strategist.
What that entails is going to colleges and universities. So next week, I'll be at St. Thomas University in Houston speaking to
Okay.
student athletes about how to communicate with power and presence. And it really boils down to three simple things. One, understanding your audience and who you're speaking to. So, what do they need to hear? Two, having poise, the ability to stay calm in those conversations. And three, being more curious. So, asking questions that allow people to know that you genuinely care about who they are and what's important to them instead of thinking you have to be the one doing all of the talking. Because
Mhm.
communication isn't about speaking, presenting is speaking, but communication is a give and take. It's
Yeah.
asking questions, actively listening, and really getting to know people.
Mm. Yeah, and I noticed that you said you do a lot of like keynote speaking and
Mhm.
leadership. Speaking of leadership, what does leadership mean to you? As you said, you've been through, you said, writing and traveling and playing overseas, and when you all that experience, what does leadership mean to you?
Leadership is never ending process of learning, positively coaching and influencing people toward a certain goal, the team goal, and then helping them grow individually. So for me, leadership is about accountability, it's about willingness to learn, and it's serving others toward a greater vision and goal.
Love that. Love that. And you also have your host of a Ball and a Chance podcast too, as well. Talk about the podcast. What can people get out of the podcast? Ball and a Chance podcast.
A Ball and a Chance podcast, I interview people who are connected to the ecosystem of sport. So oftentimes we interview players and hear about what they're doing, but I've interviewed people like Kayla. Kayla works for the Knicks in the front office, and Kayla works in player development, helping players and their families get settled. Kayla played in the W and played overseas, but Kayla's work now really speaks to there being a lot more women in front office and having opportunities. So I interview people who are connected to sport in some way to shed a light on what's possible.
Okay, and let everyone know where they can find that podcast. I've listened to quite a bit of episodes too of
Thank
the
you. Thank you.
podcast. Yeah, yes, me doing a podcast. I always like to listen to other podcasts too because I just like to hear different podcasts, different
Mhm.
perspectives, and like I said, leadership, you've had leaders, you've had different people on the podcast. It's like you said, you talk about a lot of different things that connect with sport, and I love
Yeah.
that. So talk about where they can find that podcast and when they listen to it and what they can get out of the podcast.
You can find A Ball and a Chance on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube. So it's video-based podcasts as well. So you can find us on YouTube. I've interviewed sports management professors.
Yeah.
I have a friend, Greer Christian, who has a book coming out called The Vigilant Athlete, and she's talking about how parents can best help manage their kids' brands.
Mm.
Everyone who's not the 1%, they can manage themselves. And so she talks in depth on that interview about how parents can help. And she does workshops and trainings and has a book on that. So it's a diverse group of people, but it's all connected to sport.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I love that. That's what I said. I love the diversity of the podcast because it gives different perspectives from a lot of different people that are in sports that might not be they have voices and you want to have their voices
Hmm.
be heard too. So it's a great podcast. By the way, all
Thank
right,
you.
were you just at the Sweet 16 for the women's
Yes, yes.
Okay,
You know,
talk
I'm
about
in
your
the
experience there.
DFW area.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. And as an OG hooper, right, to see
Mhm.
like the level of excitement
Yes.
and joy and support. I was at Dickies Arena out here in Fort Worth, Texas. I mean, to see it was my first time going to a regional. And so
Okay.
I loved it because we got to see so many
Yes.
games in a weekend that is it's rare. And you meet people from all over because the teams fly in. But I was of course rooting for Notre Dame because Neil Ivy is from St.
Mhm.
Louis. I was rooting for Michigan because Jordan Reese is from St. Louis. So
Right.
I was rooting for my St. Louis people.
Okay. Yes, of course. And yeah, what a good, great Sweet 16, Elite Eight that it was. The favorites end up.
Yeah.
getting there, which we kind of, I'm sure we both kind of knew was going to happen, but you just never know. It's March Madness. Why they said
Mhm.
this is the best time for basketball. And who do you think is going to win now that UConn's been the favorite all year? Will they be tested by South Carolina, or is it going to be UCLA, Texas? Like who do you feel like it will cut down those nets? Sunday, I believe. Yeah, it'll be Sunday, so Friday and Sunday.
Oh gosh, they're so good. Like
Mhm.
UConn is so good.
So good.
AZ Flood didn't even go off
Right. Yeah.
in the game. She was like
No.
just so if she's on, if everyone's on, it's a wild card because
Mhm.
South Carolina is so good too. I mean, the
Yeah.
way they handled TCU last night,
Yeah.
just I don't know. I can't call it. Texas is so good.
Yeah. Good
You
defensively
know,
too. Very good
they're
defensively.
they're so fast.
Hmm.
All the teams, all of these teams have girls on the inside. These really tall girls. I feel like it depends on who's going to have the better game on a given day.
Yeah.
I can't call it. I
Yeah.
know you're supposed to be able to call it, but I can't. I can't call UCLA is so tough.
They're tough.
Darn bets. I
Mhm.
mean, I
It
don't
is
know.
tough.
I know.
It-
That keeps me diplomatic and in the middle and doesn't
no,
answer your question at
no,
all.
that's
But
fine. No, no, it's interesting because I think these teams, these were the like I said, these were the four best teams, and leading now to the all number one seeds getting to the finals. It's yes, UConn. You say Easy Fudd didn't have a dominant performance, which is
yeah,
scary for for the rest of the for the final four. So it's like, and when if she goes off like she did in the first round, they could they could be unbeatable. But I know Dawn Staley's got something for because if they got beat last season, they got really pounded last season by
yes,
UConn. Dawn Staley's gonna have something for them.
she is.
She's gonna be ready. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm very,
Always
very
rooting for
interested.
Dawn, though.
Yeah, me
Always
too.
just
Always.
rooting for Dawn.
Yeah,
Oh
me
my!
too.
I remember
Always,
when she
always.
was on the episode of Martin.
Yes.
Her and Lisa and
Yeah, yeah.
Cheryl.
Yep,
Always
yep.
rooting for Dawn. Always want
Oh,
Dawn to
yes,
do
yes.
well.
Yeah, so and then she's got this team back into the final four.
Yeah.
Just another great coach, a great coach, Hall of Fame coach, leader, as well. So yeah, it's gonna be a really good final four. So let's transition to the WNBA, which we are about to have a season.
Yes.
They were able to get a deal done as well. What did you think of all the time frame of how things were with the CBA negotiations, how they were going, how they not were going, but now that they're here, would you expect heading into this the 30th season of the WBA?
Huge. Huge.
Hmm.
I am so proud of them for standing their
Yes,
ground, for
exactly.
being willing to say, we're not going to budge. What helps, there are a few points of leverage. The first point of leverage is that Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier have proven that Unrivaled works.
Yes.
They have created a league. So you can't have a conversation with them as if they are unaware of what it takes to make a league successful and what players really want. So because they've proved that it is possible to put players' needs first
Hmm.
and to put players' needs to prioritize players' needs, then
Yeah.
they can negotiate with that. I think that's huge. The media rights deal is huge. That's
Yes.
incredibly helpful. And I loved so much that they had this one time kind of back pay
Mm.
for players based on the number of years that they played. So they really were intentional about paying homage to the legends of the game. And I thought that was such a move of class
Yes.
and show of gratitude. So I'm excited for this season. Cannot wait.
I cannot wait either. Like I said, I was so glad that they got something done, but I was more, as you said, I was more just being happy about them standing on business and meaning it and
Yeah.
really was unified together. As you said, in any negotiation, there's going to be some type of people want to know what's going on, and and there's a give and take. But the women said what they wanted, what they what they asked for, revenue share and piece,
Mhm.
all this, and they stood on that, and they were able to get the best deal that they wanted, and even more. So I was very excited. As you said, the TV rights deal in itself, it just continues to see how how big women's sports in general and the trajectory, how it keeps increasing, and the viewerships, and as you said, on Rival was huge when it came here to Philadelphia, how big that was, and record breaking
Mhm.
record breaking crowds, and then Brooklyn the same thing. So it was tremendous that what they were able to do, and
Mhm.
I'm excited for the 30th season. It's gonna be historic, a very
It
historic
is.
season.
It
Yep.
is.
Yep, absolutely. All right, last question. Since it is Women's History Month and it's the last day of Women's History Month, what does Women's History Month mean to you on a professional and personal level?
What Women's History Month means to me on a professional level is continue to push continue to push the envelope and reach for your goals. I don't think there's ever been a better time to be an ambitious woman in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Ever, ever, ever been a better time. So continue to push towards the visions that you have. On a personal level, it gives me an opportunity to pause intentionally and honor my mother, grandmother, aunties,
Yeah.
all friends, all of the women who have held me up, continue to hold me up, and gives me an opportunity to look at the women who are younger than me around me and say, how can I do more? How can I how can I show up more? I'll give you an example. I received a DM on LinkedIn from a young woman whose mother I met after speaking at an event. Her mom comes up to me. She's like, my daughter really loves sport and she wants to be involved in sport and work in sport. And this young lady DM'd me and said, my mom told me to reach out to you, basically.
Yeah.
My mom said for me to reach out to you. And I've listened to your podcast. And she said, I listened and it really helped me understand what
Mhm.
opportunities are possible. And so this month really in moments like that, it's like you have to keep going even on days you don't feel like it because
Right.
your presence matters. To sum it up, your presence as a woman matters for all of the other women who are watching and looking and being inspired by the work that you're doing. So go after it because you don't know the impact that you're making.
Mm.
So that's for
Right.
me.
I love that. And then you said that reach that you were able to, you don't even know who you meet, who
Mhm.
you speak with, who you communicate with, who you said your presence being there, uh, that reach of someone reaching out to you and saying, hey, I just wanted to say this and tell you
Yeah.
this. You just never know what type of impact that it has on people. So it's good to have that. That's one good thing about social media, the reach that you can have with it and your podcast, or what you can have with people as well and everything too. But Angela, this has been a pleasure getting to know you. I'm glad that I was able to. I wanted to spotlight you, and I wanted you to share your
Thank
story
you.
to everyone, and with the book. So as I said, much success to you, many blessings to you, beyond, and just in abundance, to you moving forward as well. Thank you again, really appreciate it. But let everyone know where they can actually follow you on social media, want to reach out to you. As you said, you got your website and on social media as well.
You can follow me. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, Angela R. Lewis. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Would love to chat if you have a youth group or student groups, or you want to
Mm.
sponsor books. I have a friend who sponsored books that I'll now give to a group. So if you want to sponsor books, we can do that as well. So Angela R. Lewis on LinkedIn, AngelaRLewis.com, Instagram, the Angela R. Lewis. You can find me.
So follow all those things. Follow, like, subscribe. With
Everything.
the podcast as well. Get the book, also as well. Share and all those things. That's the easiest thing to do. Reach out and do all
Yes.
those things. So, Angela, once again, thank you again. Really appreciate it. Pleasure meeting you. And again, hopefully we can do this. Hopefully we can do this some other time as well.
Yes, I would love that. Thank you so much for inviting me. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you, and happy Women's History Month to you, and beyond this month as well. Again, like I said, much success moving forward as well to you.
Thank you.
All right, well, you have a good one, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.